Everybody, I hope that you are doing well. Oops. Okay, so you probably heard by now about it's been what, 1 year anniversary of the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, and his wife is suing the estate, basically the family trust. So here's an article. I'm going to go ahead and just show you this. It says Malcolm Jamal Warner died tragically 1 year ago. Now his widow is suing his mother. Wow. Okay. So it says here, 1 year after the drowning death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, his widow, Tanisha Warner, has filed a lawsuit against the actor's mother, who oversees his trust, seeking more than $1.2 million in what she says are owed funds. The suit was filed Monday in DeKalb County Superior Court in Decatur, Georgia, against Pamela Warner, whose the legal paperwork names as the successor trustee of the Warner Family Trust. The beloved actor died on July 20th, 2025 in a drowning accident while vacationing in Costa Rica. He was 54 years old. Was 54. Warner and his wife married on May 23rd, 2022, and signed a prenuptial agreement on May 15th of that year. According to the suit, they share a daughter who has not publicly been named. The suit states that Warner, who came to fame, as we all know, The Cosby Show, Warner, who came to fame, became popular on the 1986 sitcom The Cosby Show, had agreed to purchase and maintain a term life insurance policy on his life in the amount of $1 million, naming his wife as a beneficiary, but failed to do so. And that was one thing. Let me stop for a moment. That was one thing, too. I thought, well, listen, I am sure he had life insurance, okay? I am so very sure he had life insurance. And the fact that he died, swimming, that could be labeled as an accident, drowning, accidental drowning, then double indemnity. So that was my thinking. I'm like, well, he says life insurance, double indemnity, whatever the amount is, it'll be that times two. Well, the problem is he failed to get the life insurance and also to maintain it. My question as a spouse, you're married in May of 2022, 3 years, you should have had the paperwork. Yes, you should have had that paperwork. So that's the part I don't understand. And I think she may be a doctor. Some say she's a doctor. I don't know what kind, if that's true. Why you didn't have the paperwork? I just don't understand. He seems to be in good shape. So I just assumed that there was life insurance and that he, succumbed to a drowning, accidental drowning, So I'm like, well, hey, double indemnity. Well, now we know that he failed to get, based on this news article, he failed to get the life insurance. And of course, she didn't get it, didn't maintain it. So highly problematic. Tanisha Warner also alleges in the suit that the actor failed to maintain an agreed upon payment to her of $16,000 per year on their marriage anniversaries, which would now amount to $50,542.46. Did not maintain a Roth individual retirement account for her with the maximum contribution per year, and also did not pay her a promised salary of $5,000 per month for acting as his chief of staff, amounting to $195,000. So let's see, no life insurance. Wow. I don't understand why she didn't keep up with this. I mean, I don't understand. You're acting as his chief of staff. You should have had these things handled, in my opinion. So no life insurance. You didn't get the $16,000 on your marriage anniversary. You never got that. And then you didn't get the Roth IRA. And you didn't get the $5,000 a month as promised, acting as his chief of staff. So it's a lot of promises here. And as you can see, marriage is business. Obviously, it's a business deal as well. And I get it. But the issue is somebody or somebodies didn't handle their business. And I don't know, neither party, him, didn't know him, the mother or the spouse. But it just makes me wonder, do you think possibly that maybe his mom, they look so much alike? Do you think maybe his mom had a hand in that? Or maybe he just didn't get around to it? Normally, people that have a trust and believe they understand business. So I'm just wondering that, why this didn't happen. I don't understand. I assume he had life insurance. Like I said, oh, my accident, double indemnity. Well, now we know that was not the case. But here, you didn't get the $16,000 on your anniversary. Why not? When anniversary came, why didn't you bring it up after the anniversary? Married from 2022? What's up? I don't understand that. The Roth IRA, that never came to fruition. So it sounds like a lot of promises were made, and now she's trying to get those promises fulfilled after his death. So I'm just not understanding why it didn't happen. Again, $5,000 a month, a promised salary of $5,000 a month for acting as his chief of staff. Wow. It says in total, the amounts due and owing to plaintiff under the agreement totals no less than $1,276,042.46, together with the prejudgment and post-judgment interest and plaintiff's attorney's fees and costs recoverable under the agreement, the suit states. All the agreements and the financial terms are also reflected in the prenuptial agreement, which is attached to the lawsuit. Again, why wasn't this handled during the marriage? Maybe she didn't see the need. Everything was taken care of. And now that he's gone, no life insurance policy, that's a shocker. Now that he's gone, and the mother is over the family trust? Wow. In a statement to CNN provided by her attorney on Tuesday, Tanisha Warner said that for the past year, quote, she's attempted to privately settle the beloved husband's complicated estate and honor his wishes, end quote. That her husband had every intention to provide for her and their 9-year-old daughter and was close to finalizing a new estate plan to replace the estate plan created in 1996 when he was 26 years old. 20 years before we met and well before we gave birth to our beautiful daughter. So he had this trust in 1996 that his mother is over. Wow. Sadly, he was unable to do so before we lost him. She says, I've been struggling to care for our daughter as a single mom and now as a sole provider, she said in a statement. Legally, I had no choice but to take action to protect our rights before any potential statute of limitations expired. And that's common. You want to go ahead and file the lawsuit to protect your interests. Understandable. Wow. That is interesting. It says the star kept his wife and child's identity private while he was alive. In September 2025, Tanisha Warner posted a tribute to him on social media and announced that she and their young daughter were launching a company in honor of him. So basically, it's been a year. No life insurance. You don't have the Roth IRA. You don't have the money promised for every year of the anniversary. And you don't have the $5,000 acting as his chief of staff. So she goes to the mom, and I guess that's why we're here, and she's not getting that. So basically, when you sue an estate, you're pretty much showing up like a creditor to say, hey, here's what I'm owed. And it's really sad. Again, it would have been so much easier if this had been handled. So I just want to know, what do you think? You think it's possible that maybe the mother could have, because I know sons and moms got like, some of them have like a special bond that some daughters can't even breach. You understand what I'm saying? I may not have. But yeah, it makes me wonder. The mother has given a statement. Okay. She says, it says, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Living Legacy. During my year-long journey, I've discovered how cruel, evil, and greedy a human can be. I have also discovered the depth of love, care, concern, and support that humans are capable of. So, gee, I wonder who she's talking about. Huh. So I'm really surprised that the things promised in the prenup did not come to fruition. That part, I do not, for the life of me, I don't understand. I am really, really taken aback by that. I'm like, how, why? I don't understand that part, why that did not happen. So now here we are. She's here to collect. And this makes me wonder, what, does she have her own career? Life insurance, that's common. If they would have had life insurance, it would have been a double indemnity policy, more than likely, my opinion, based on him, an accidental drowning. And so here we are. When it gets like this here, litigious, man, family relationships can get strained. I do wonder if this is going to impact the relationship of their granddaughter with the grandmother. It's really sad. And going forward, what are her plans? She's finding herself being a sole provider. Again, I am really shocked to even hear this, what was promised, but it didn't happen. So this right here, lady, what is your plan after this? And I'm sure she'll, figure it out. But it's really, really sad. Instead of people coming together, that now we have things that were promised, prenuptial, promised during the marriage, and now that he's gone and he cannot provide for her. And here's one thing I will say. I will say this, speaking in general, I think it's one thing that women need to learn, and especially Black women, showing up here with these men that cannot do anything, cannot put your name on a Krispy Kreme $30 limit credit card, if there is such a thing. Life is business, and a husband's supposed to be a provider. He can't put your name on anything. And then if you're expecting him to be a provider, doing life and afterwards, you're considered a gold digger. No, you can see clearly how when a lot of these men pick these women, what they're coming up. They are coming not out the gate, they coming in the gate with some promises. Now, in this case here, it looks like some broken promises based on the article. But do you not understand? In time, a sister asked one, "Do you have a job?" All of a sudden, oh, it's going left. But notice when it comes to women that a man wants, he's coming in with a lot of promises. In this case, it looks like broken promises, but he's coming in what? Providing. Gee, and it doesn't mean he's providing love and affection. No, he's coming in. We're talking tangibles here. And some women have been so blindsided and so brainwashed, they think unless a man is coming to you struggling on bended knees and he needs your help for you to love him and help bring him up in that real love, honey, you're signing up for a liability. You don't know how it's going to turn out. Trust and believe it can change. But already coming in the gate with poverty and struggle of mindset. Again, look at the promises made in a prenup. Look at the promises made. So some women, I was watching that show, one of those housewives show, I forget, Bell Collective. She's like, "Oh, I feel sorry for Marie. She don't have no man." And most of them on the show got a man and got some drama. You see the last episode? Got some drama. Marie Monroe is worth $5 million. She is single. We don't have to worry about a man in her pocket, or for cheating on her, stressing her out, a man in her bed getting her pregnant, or coming up with a disease, sitting up there like Glenn. He's had an affair, and now we think the side chick she gets pregnant, it might be his. Oh, while he's going all natural on the show on pins and needles. We hoping the baby's not Glenn's. No, it wasn't. Woo! Dodge that bullet. But yeah, the fact that you had to hope that it wasn't Glenn speaks volumes. But hey, at least you got a man. Notice. Again, I'll take Marie Monroe any day instead of her always bickering with a spouse or somebody like Glenn. I'll take door number one. Marie Monroe, peace of mind. And she sure as hell ain't looking depressed. She seemed mighty happy and in good spirits to me and very successful, making moves. Notice how they're coming in with these women. They're coming in with agreements. In this case here, it looked like the agreement didn't hold. But look, she set a standard that just didn't hold. It just wasn't. It just wasn't executed. $16,000 for the anniversary. Notice when these men are going after certain women, look how they're operating. Anyway, gotta go. Let me know what you all think about this. It's just sad it came to this, but I'm really surprised. I just knew there was life insurance, an accidental drowning, or double indemnity, and now we're hearing this. No offense. Maybe he didn't handle his business, and maybe just life got in the way. You know what I'm saying? And as you're working and you're busy, you got a family, you're not really worried about it, and then something like this happens. So I'm just trying to understand. She was acting as his chief of staff, you got to handle your business. But it's sad it's reached this point. It really is. I wish they could have made an agreement, but it's really sad. So now she and the mother, you know, legal matters, people get at odds. And then it's just sad that this may have a strain on the relationship besides the mother, but with the granddaughter. So what do you all think? Like I said, but notice how they're coming in with business agreements, coming in with promise of tangibles. May not always get it, but the promise was there. So let me know what you think about this here. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out. That's going to be interesting.